Okay, who doesn't want to run faster for 5K? Whether it's a solo run, a weekly park run, or an event that you're targeting, well, today I'm going to run you through some tips on how to run faster for that 5K. All right, this faster 5K is something I've gone after many times before and kind of am as well at the moment. So I've got a few tips that I'm going to run through today, as well as a couple of workouts that hopefully help you to achieve that PB. But before we delve into those, we've actually got loads more videos along these lines over on our channel. So why not subscribe to the channel, just hitting that button below. And if you'd like to be notified when each of our videos come out in the future, hit the bell icon too. But now let's head on to tip number 1, run slow to run fast. I know that's a pretty bold statement to start with, given that this whole video is about being able to run a faster 5K. But if you think elite distance runners are doing all of their running and all their training at superhuman paces, well, think again. Now, of course, they do a lot more volume than many of us, but a vast majority of that volume is at a distinctly human pace. Now, we will get onto the faster running bit later on, but to be able to do that, you need to learn to run slow. The reason being that being able to run slow allows us to save energy for those quality, harder workouts, while still improving our aerobic capacity and efficiency as a runner. And in simple terms, that means keeping your runs to an easy and conversational pace, something like a 5 out of 10 in terms of effort. And if you're using a watch that has heart rate built in, or it can deal with heart rate, then they can normally work out your maximum heart rate looking at your previous run. So using that as a guide, we're looking at around a 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. But if you'd like to find out a little bit more on heart rate and running, we have a detailed video on that. I'll pop the link for that in the description below this video. But now for tip number 2, which is to work on your technique. Well, the key to this one is drills. Drills really allow you to improve your efficiency as a runner. In other words, allowing you to run faster for the same effort, or run at the same pace, but for less effort. What is not to like about that? What it does is it breaks down the technique of running, allowing you to focus on specific individual areas such as your form, your posture, your foot contact, and your propulsion, and so on and so forth. I used to do drills week in, week out without fail, but since stopping doing them, I've really noticed a difference in my technique, in a bad way, and actually as a result I've picked up a few niggles since. So there's a lot to be said for drills. So what I would suggest is setting aside 20 to 30 minutes at least per week where you can focus on doing some drills. Prior to a run is a really good idea, because hopefully then you take that technique forwards into that run. And if you'd like some ideas on some drills to do, well, guess what? We've got a video on that. I'll drop a link in the description below this, which will run you through some of those drills in some real detail. But now on to tip 3, don't shy away from the hills. That's gross. Well, running hilly routes or including some hills into some of your workouts can really help to improve your leg strength. In particular, your glutes or your backside, which are basically like your running powerhouses, all of which can really help to make you a faster runner. Now, personally, I just like to incorporate this into some of my steady, easy runs. As I'm exploring, I'll go up and over the hills, which, to be honest, is pretty hard not to do around here. But if you don't have many hills on your doorstep, try and find an incline of some sort, and you can always just do repeats on that. Just build your effort on the way up the hill, turn around at the top, jog back down recovery, and keep doing that as many times as you like. On which note, let's talk about a couple of the key sessions that you might like to consider for the 5K distance to make you faster. So one of which is the threshold or tempo session, and then we've got the speed workout. So let's start off with this tempo or threshold workout. Well, this is above that easy pace that I was discussing before, but below your 5K best paced effort. What I describe as around an 8 out of 10, and often referred to as comfortably uncomfortable. Again, if you're using a heart rate monitor, this works out around 80 to 85% of your maximum heart rate. So with that in mind, I would only advise doing one of these per week, or maybe even just once every other week. Now, this is obviously below your 5K best effort, and that means that you can rack up a good duration at this intensity, which in turn can really boost your fitness and improve your overall speed as a runner. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, let's run through a couple of session ideas that you could build into, say, a 45-minute run. So you could start out with 5 lots of 4 minutes at threshold effort with 90 seconds jog recoveries, building to 4 lots of 5 minutes at threshold effort with 90 seconds jog recoveries, then to 3 lots of 6 minutes at threshold effort with 60 to 90 seconds jog recoveries, and with time maybe even building to a solid 3 lots of 8 or 3 lots of 10 minutes at threshold effort, also with 60 to 90 seconds jog recoveries between. Now, to be clear, you should never finish a tempo or threshold rep or workout on your hands and knees. You should always feel like you could push on a fraction more should you need to. Now, I understand it is a bit of a tricky pace to get your head around to start off with, but with practice, it does start to become a little bit more familiar. But now moving on to the exciting one, the speed workouts. Well, similarly to the tempo or threshold workouts, you only want to be doing one of these per week or every other week at the absolute most. But the difference on these sessions is that you're going to be running at your 5K race pace or above. Now, I often describe this as if you're tapping into your inner speed, you're unlocking it and teaching your body how to move your legs that fast. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that, and there's also a lot of hard work that's required. So you really do need to arrive prepared and ready for these sessions. On which note, I often find it's best to do these sessions with a training partner, in a group, or even with a club, just to help push you on that little bit more. And as with before, here's some session examples for you. You might want to start out with something along the lines of 8 lots of 30 seconds fast running, followed by 30 seconds easy running, 3 minutes jog recovery, and repeat through again. I really like that workout just to get myself into the swing of doing speed workouts. And then with time, you might like to build to something like this. 6 to 8 lots of 400 meters at target 5K race pace or above with 90 seconds recovery between. Don't worry about jogging between these necessarily. You'll likely be pretty pooped after each of these reps. Then building to 4 to 6 lots of 800 meters at target race pace or above, also with 90 seconds recovery. Then up to the ultimate 3 to 5 lots of 1 kilometer at target 5K race pace or above, taking 90 seconds recovery between. Well, I guess the big takeaway points from this is that if you really want to run faster over the 5K distance, or any distance for the matter actually, is that being specific in each of your runs makes a huge difference. And don't try to run a PB in each and every one of your runs. Equally, don't try to run a PB at your Parc run every single week. Pick a date, work towards that and really target it. Well, I hope that has helped and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget, you can follow GTN on social media and subscribe to us on YouTube.